Power went out. Power has gone out. They attacked me. Hopefully my power don't go out again. All right. Let's get back into it. NASDAQ futures. If we go out again, for some reason my power flickered. I don't know why. It might happen again. Just so you know that. 21,000, right? That's that big weekly look, and you're even looking at this daily chart, right? You look at something like this, it still looks fine to me, right? There's really just some consolidation going on. Looks like we're going to need some kind of catalyst, right? That's really what it looks like. Some kind of catalyst. Nothing broke, nothing turned off on my computer. I have a battery backup down below my desk, but unfortunately, the battery backup does not run. I can't connect my, I don't even know if I connect my router to it, if it would keep my internet on. I have to try that. Maybe I got to move my router. But I'd like to just have Starlink running at all times. Anyways, so if we zoom in on this NASDAQ and we look at sort of the here and now and what needs to happen, right? I think you really need to hold this zone right here. 21,560 to 460. This has been the same zone that we've had on our charts all week, right? All week. We've had these highs, these lows, right? And as long as the NASDAQ futures, I believe, stay above this zone between 460 and 560, then probably fine, right? I think we just continue to sort of grind and possibly continue to see this move. Now, of course, tonight Apple definitely has some, has some ability to move this. Also, the GDP and unemployment claims here in about 8 minutes definitely has some opportunity to break this look. But for now, I would say as long as we're holding above that 460 zone, then the NASDAQ continues to look like there's buyers stepping up, right? Yesterday, we saw some really nice holds at that 20 SMA and this sort of 460 demand zone, pretty much maintaining that all day. So let's continue to see if that holds. Now, if we do break that daily 20 SMA, if we do break that 460 spot, then I think you will see that drop towards the 200, and that would possibly be sort of where the short side really comes in, right? If we break under 460 in the daily 20 SMA, that would be the short side that I would look for. That would probably come in underneath that daily 20 SMA. To the upside, we are still under this major supply, which is obviously still a concern, right? You can see right here the 21.8, that we are still right below. So right now, man, it's just it's one of these, right? It's one of these. It's just a consolidation. It's a structure point. It's above 460. It's below that 800, and we're just dancing in between. It's just a dance in between. Really nothing going on, and you got to hold 460. You got to get above this 800 area. For now, it's a bunch of sideways, right? That's really all it is. So we're still in the same range. We're on the same range of this big move, right? We're just sort of trading on the inside of this major range here, right? The major drop. We're just sort of trading right in the center of it. We've just retraced about 50% of that move. So it's a wait and see move here, right? It's a wait and see move. It's don't flip your bias on a daily basis. You can look for some of these scalps, but on the same side, I really haven't seen many great scalps on the intraday. Tuesday probably being the best upside day there. But yesterday, shit, and really Monday, I really didn't really find many opportunities either, right? Monday, Tuesday, not bad. Yesterday, same sort of sideways nothingness. Let's see, right? Let's see if we can get some nice price action off this 460, 560 zone. Let's see if we can get a nice push off that demand. And then I think the other best trade is probably a short under 460, right? That's probably the next best trade is a short under the daily 20 SMA. Honestly, that probably is. So, Justin, thanks, Justin. And it's not a power bill problem, but I appreciate that. Sometimes the power just goes and flickers in my area. I really couldn't tell you why. 21,460, that's the big level. Daily 20 SMA. Watch this area to hold true. And then 21,800 above. QQQ. So the QQQ, man, a insane hold right at the daily SMAs yesterday. I mean, just really, really strong holds there, guys. If you go to the 5-minute chart and we go into yesterday's price action, right, those buyers just stepped up, right? They just stepped up right at that daily 20, right at that daily 50. So that is definitely a big level, right? The 517 and the daily 20 and 50 SMA is absolutely the big level. We look at this, we zoom out, right? We look at the 30-minute chart. Previous highs, look at those lows, right? Break, retest, hold, continuation. So this trend is still very much intact. And until that breaks, then you're going to continue to watch that move. I would say if you break under 517, that is a very clear short side trade. Under 517, under yesterday's lows, under the daily 20 and 50, that is your change in direction right there, right? Right under 517 is the change in direction that you would be looking for the potential short side trade into 511. That would be a really nice setup right here. Now, until then, we have the 520 spot and we have the 517 and the daily 50 and 20 SMA below that I think will continue to sort of try to hold this market higher, right? Even a drop into here, possible hold, right? 517, that's the big spot. You break under that, we're going lower. You hold that, we continue to grind. Now, the grind likely comes to a close, or at least gets very, very tricky or difficult right here around the 528. I do believe that is your ultimate target here at 528. I believe that's where the next move will come into, and that's probably where things get very difficult, right? Previous lows, that would be your previous lows here. That would sort of fill this gap down. That would be this previous area of consolidation. This probably gets a little bit heavy, right? Right up here around 528 is going to be a really tough spot for the market. So 528 on Qs, I think, is probably your target as long as you sort of continue to make these higher lows on this QQQ market. I would say you look for that 528 level. Now, once we get up there, new story is painted. We're going to have to really pay attention to see what happens when we reach that level. Today, I'd be watching 520, I'd be watching 517, and then 528 just looks to be sort of that tough spot. Yeah, you see a little bit at 525. Yeah, I see it there, Nushi. You got like the 525 sort of heavy spot that's sort of stepping up right now. I do believe that ultimately you're going to try to fill this gap around 528. But yeah, a little bit of problems around that 525 as well. S&P 500 futures. So here's exactly, right? Let me go right back to QQQ and show you why I say that about 528, right? See this 528 spot? See these previous lows and see how it's, right there at 528. Take a look at the S&P 500, guys. That is exactly where the S&P 500 is starting to find some problems, right? At the gap area, at the previous lows here. That Thursday low, right, is exactly right there, right? See that right there? Thursday lows on the Qs, that's 528. So if you match that up with the ES is already back to that level, and that is the level that we've been unable to break above, right? So very clear here that the 6105 is a problem. We can see 6105, 6105, 6105, very clearly a problem. So that is absolutely going to be the level that needs to break and hold above for anything more to happen to the upside. That is very, very clear, right? Very, very clear. 6105 on the ES. Now, to the downside, we have the 6070 and the 6070 that's looking to hold today. Below that, the 6040 level, I've sort of adjusted this level. 6040 looks to be the spot. Anywhere between 6040 and it looks like 6035, 6030, 32, all in within that zone down here. definitely looks to be the spot that's trying to hold true, right? So right here at 60.40, right here at 60.70, right? And then up here at 61.05. Very, very clear on the levels there. Yesterday you said talks could go down to put in a buy. What's talks? Oh, Tesla? Yeah, Tesla did exactly sort of what we talked about. Dewey, appreciate that, man. All right, hold on. We got our GDP numbers. Let's see what the market reaction is. Not much. Not much. Hamish. GDP. Oh, okay, so GDP down. Jobless claims down, GDP down. GDP 2.3 versus 2.7. So GDP quite a substantial decline on GDP. Jobless claims lower. Strong jobs market. Looks like market. I'm sort of surprised the market is not reacting much to that. Actually reacting positively. Not by much, but huh. All right. Well, for now, we're having a, slight higher reaction. Slight higher reaction. Nothing meaningful yet, guys, right? Nothing's really meaningful unless we break a key level. We know that. So, really not anything meaningful yet. Really, the only meaningful thing would be 6105, right? 6105 would really be the only meaningful break that you would look for today. If we do not break 6105, we likely trade back to this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And then guess what? We wait for Apple's earnings, right? We wait for the Apple's earnings. This is your end of day, and you wait to see what Apple earnings does. That's pretty much it. So 6105, you got to break it. 6070 is an important hold level. And then yesterday's low, 6040, another important hold level. That's what I would be watching. Under 6040, right? Under 6040, I think is where you'd really get the sell-off or the continuation to the downside towards 6,000, towards the daily 20. So for now, it looks like you're in a very tight range today, my friends. You got this 60-70 spot. You got the 6105. Can you see something outside of this range today? If you break under 60-70, I think you go to 60-40. If you break over 6105, I do believe that creates some type of a spike to the upside towards the 6150 zone, or at least towards this gap fill around 6130. Okay? So, right here, it's pretty clear. Not much really going on there. SPY. All right. So, on the SPY, it looks like to me that 602, 602.50 zone definitely still important. Definitely starting to see some holds there in the pre-market, so around that 602 level. Really, the big demand is still down below around that 598, right? That's still very much intact. You can see right here that 598, the 598, the 50 SMA. Yesterday, we saw a little bit of drop towards that level, got bid up very quickly back towards that 598 and that 50 SMA. Very strong demand down here, bidding this back higher. It looks like today you're trying to hold above that 602, 602.50. If you break below this today, you'll probably get your, maybe your slide back down towards that channel low, that 598 demand. Upside supply, absolutely at 606, right? 606, very clear. We can see these highs around 606, even up towards that 607. It's just going to get heavy up here. But I would say you use this high right here as your guide, right there around 606, and right alongside that 6105 on the ES, right? 6105 ES. I think that's right around that SPY 606. Very clear, right? Two spots right there to watch to the upside. 602, 602.50 downside. If that breaks today, I'd say you have some possible downside continuation towards that 598 again. That would then sort of show you, right? I would say if you break the 602 today, it would show you this. It would solidify this channel, right? You can see right here, straight up, straight down, and now, guess what? I think it's pretty clear. So this is definitely a very clear channel area, structure point on the market, above the 598, above the 598, above the 598, below the 606, below the 606, below the 606, straight up, straight down, now chop around, right? And we need a catalyst to get through this, right? Or we're going to continue to see those 606 fails. We're going to continue to see those pops off 598, and we might just continue to get that action. So as we get closer to 606, be careful on the longs. As we get closer to 598, be careful on the shorts. And probably expect more of this sort of sideways action until a true catalyst drives this market. 602, 602.50 looks to be sort of middle of the seesaw, middle of the channel level to be watching today. For now, looks like the market's just not really reacting to this data, and that's about it. IWM, good hold of the 100 SMA again, right? This thing's really been holding up above this 100 SMA. You can see right here, 100 SMA holds. 227.50, you guys can see right there. That looks like a very important hold today. If you fail back below that, you're probably coming back to that 100. But that 230 zone on the IWM is very heavy, guys. Be careful up here on the IWM. That 50 SMA has failed multiple times. That 230 spot has been very heavy. This could be a little bit of a failure watch today. If you want to look for a short on the IWM, I would keep an eye on this 230 zone above. Dow Jones, failing that 45K right now. You are seeing a little bit of downside come in on the Dow off that 45,000 level. Definitely a heavy level. We have seen it have, sort of very clear inability to move higher. 45,100, maybe you move it up to there as you include those major highs. I'd say very short-term look would be 44,750 right there, right? 44,750, very short-term look there. If you break that, probably back down to your 44, right? So 44,750, low, low, low. You break that, I'd say some free air down towards that 44K. SMH, man, it's really up to whether you believe in the comeback, right? That's really it. Do you believe in the comeback move or not? That is really it. Do you believe semis have an opportunity here on this gap down? You have a very clear gap down on the SMH. You have not seen a gap down like that on the SMH pretty much ever. I mean, maybe at some point in the past that I'd have to go back years to find. But I really don't know if I've ever seen this major of a gap on a weekly chart in a very long time. Is there a case for that filling? Maybe not breaking out to new highs, but at least filling that. I think that's very, very possible. You have a very major weekly demand here around 230, 237, right? Previous highs. You have some lows, some lows, some lows, some lows, some lows, and some lows that are stepping in now. So it's a very important demand down here, right? It's definitely an important level, and if you trade, right, if you do trade alongside these zones, then, there's really only one way to look here at the current moment. Long, 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 right? And maybe another long here after a, gap down into this zone. So definitely interesting to watch there. We're going to need to see some more life come back into this. We're going to need to see some kind of catalyst really help this market higher. But because for now, it's sort of just subdued. For now, of course. Previous lows. 242, I think, is important today. Right? You can see today you're trying to hold above that 242 level. 242. I would like to see the SMH make some type of a higher low there today. You have been making higher lows over the last 3 days. I would like to see a new higher low get formed around that 242 today. That would be something I watch. And, of course, I mean, it's just going to be tough. You got the 200, the 100, the 50, the 20. Tough daily SMAs above. really the question is, right, really the question here is, do you get at least a gap fill to around that 260? That's really the question, right? Do you get the gap fill, I would say, to 260? That would be the question. And does that fail again? Probably. But is there opportunity right here? That's the big question. And that's what I will continue to watch. All right? All right, let's get into Tesla. Press that like button, guys, if you could. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We got 500 likes, man. That's bad. It's really bad. Please press that like button. Sorry about the little outage we had. Tesla, man. Funny, right? Funny. Tesla did exactly what we said on the live stream yesterday. It did exactly what we said. We said, is earnings going to be the move that drops you to 360? And is that going to be where the buyers step in? That is exactly what we did. So that's unfortunate, right? I would have loved to see Tesla back at this level during, trading hours. Unfortunately, you did it and you popped right back off of it. So you had a shitload of buyers down there waiting, right? That's just what it is. You had a shitload of buyers down here. Limit order set. The second it got down there, it just picked up those limit orders and bam, straight back up. I mean, very explainable in terms of levels. You can absolutely see that was the exact previous highs, and that is exactly where that bid came in off of. So really nice there. Would have loved to find an average down there. Would have loved it. Now it just sort of feels like it's, it just doesn't feel right now. I would have loved to be able to pick up something down in that zone. So we'll see, right? I wouldn't mind to maybe get Tesla back down into there to really pick this up. Is Tesla creating a very clear consolidation? Yes. I don't think anyone can argue with that. This is a very clean, action. This is exactly what these stocks love to do after a big push, right? You get a consolidation, you get a big squeeze, and you get your consolidation. And the next question is, right, is there going to be a catalyst on the market? And is there going to be a catalyst on the, on Tesla to get us to do with this again, right? That's really the question mark now. Does it look like it's setting up? Hands down. There's no question about it, right? Does this look like it's setting up? Does, is someone that's really patient here eventually get rewarded on this? Probably, right? But how much longer is it going to do shit? It could be a long time, right? It could be a long time. So let's see. We're going to have to really be patient, I think, and not put ourselves in zero DTE options, right? And not hope that, every day is going to be a fantastic day. So, we're going to have to really stay patient. For now, I would probably want to see, number one, that 400 level start to hold really strong, right? I'd really like to see that 400 level continue to hold really strong here at 400 and that daily 50. That would be good. The next level above is 420. And I think that's where you can start to get interested. If Tesla can get above 420, I think you can start to take some risks, right? Over 420, you can look to take some risks into the 440. Possibly that gives you the breakouts. We shall see. But for now, it's 420 to 400. That's what you're watching. All right? NVIDIA. So, man, a shit show for now. There's no doubt about it, right? It's definitely not, the ideal situation down here. You're basically just consolidating below these lows. The 130 rejections were very nice. That is sort of what you're looking at right now. You can see right there. 130 rejections, 130, 130. So for now, this is your zone, right? It's really 115 to 130. It's about a 15-point range on NVIDIA. That's probably going to continue to be a really aggravating and shitty area to watch. Now, here's where I challenge people, and you got to decide what you want to do here ultimately. How I look at this is when we go out to the weekly chart, you absolutely are still on this, I think opportunistic uptrend, and you've retested that uptrend just recently, right? Test, test, test. 115 being, I think, the must-hold level. If we go to the daily chart, you guys can see right here. 115, in my eyes, being the must-hold level right there, alongside the uptrend and alongside the 200 SMA. So you have a 115 major demand. You have a weekly uptrend, right? And you have the daily 200 SMA stacked up pretty much right where NVIDIA is consolidating. It's such an interesting spot to take opportunity. It's such an interesting spot to stay patient and see if, when we zoom out to this weekly chart, right, the question that runs in my mind is, I'm going to come onto this live stream in, let's say in 4 weeks or 5 weeks or even 8 weeks, right, 2 months from now. We come onto this live stream and we look back at this chart. I think it is a full possibility that we look back at this chart and we say, wow, right, look at that weekly hold of the uptrend. Look at the sort of, obviously maybe some consolidation for multiple weeks, right? Maybe it takes 2-3 weeks here and consolidate sideways. But ultimately, look at how NVIDIA held that trend and created that opportunity. I can't help but think that that's still possible. And that definitely makes me want to continue to monitor this position, right? And at least stay somewhat patient for now. Now, of course, this is not the type of trade that's going to satisfy the micro, nanosecond scalping intraday traders. It's just not. It's just not the type of trade it is. And, I guess you just got to understand that, right? This is not going to be a fun thing to watch. It's not going to be something that is going to really work for you overnight. Sometimes, man, you got to decide if you want to be a part of something like this. For me, I don't mind this. I'm comfortable doing that. That's sort of what I've tailored my trading to do, is to just stay patient and to watch these levels and to not panic over every day. But for now, there's no doubt about it. It's going to be a shit show down here. It already has shown you it's a shit show. It's already shown you that it's not performing ultimately with other names, which is a little bit of a concern to me. But this is just consolidation for me, right? Consolidation for now. I want to continue to see how the 200 SMA holds up. I want to continue to watch how this demand down here holds up. Ultimately, what you guys need, if you want to get involved in NVIDIA and you want it to work for you on a short period, right, on an instant gratification, you need it to be over 130, okay? If you guys want that instant gratification on NVIDIA, I would wait for it to hold above 130. That's what I would wait for, right? That's it. You got to hold above 130. That's the instant gratification level. That's where you can start to get involved without sitting through some consolidation and drawdown. You got to get above 130, okay? That's that. Let's jump in through some semis. ASML today, I would watch 750. I would watch 703. Very nice break and retest long after that earnings pullback. You got to get over 750 on ASML. Broadcom, really nice watch today, in my opinion. I think you got to get over this 218.43, right? You got to get over this 218.43 on Broadcom. Why do I say 218.43? Let me go ahead and zoom in here for you. This candle on the daily chart, this candle right here. You guys see this candle right here? The high of that candle is 218.43. If you break above the high of this candle right here, you have entered the gap, right? And so today, what I'm looking for is Broadcom to hold above this 218.43. If we get that, I believe you will get Broadcom to trade through this gap, possibly and eventually towards 230, right? And the daily 20 SMA. That would be my target. So 218.43, that's my main watch today. I would also look for pullbacks to 211.11. That would be another pullback that I would look for today. MRVL, very good look, very similar look to Broadcom. Pretty much the same exact look. 112. 112 is the level you need to break, right? Look at this. It's the same exact look. You already broke above this high, which I actually want to go ahead and mark out real quick. The high of this candle is 108.15. So let me go ahead and put that on the chart. 108.15 is the high of that candle that starts the gap. 112 looks to be a previous level of some rejection right back here. So I'm watching that 112 very closely. But I would say as long as you're over this 108.15, that is your sort of pullback long to be looking for. And look at how MRVL is holding this. Look at that. See that 108.15? See those holds coming in? All right? See how that's holding? Guess what that is, right? You got to think about what that is. That is this daily candle high. So right here at 108.15, where that gap starts, right, you are holding above that level perfectly right there. So very interesting. I would watch MRVL over 108.15 for possible continuation. Very interesting watch there. That's if the semis can stay hot today, of course. Let's jump through some more really good-looking setups. Number one, Google. Let's see what this thing does. The lower or the higher lows on Google just continue to look really good. The problem I have with Google is earnings are approaching, so that's a little bit of a concern. But you have these higher lows, higher lows, higher lows on Google. It looks like you're failing this 199 again, so I would watch that 199 very closely. Amazon, still holding above that 233, still holding above that 230. Every pullback to 230 and 233 has continued to be bid up. 230, 233, I would watch those again today, and I would watch that pullback possibly to 225 and the daily 20 SMA. Again, a problem. Earnings is approaching. Apple has earnings tonight. I really don't have much interest in Apple. I would watch this 233 pullback as an opportunity, potentially. That would really be the only watch I'd look for. Yesterday, it did exactly that. Pullback to 233, long opportunity. This was exactly our read before the market opened yesterday. We said look for the 100 SMA to be a long. That's exactly what Apple did. Netflix. I love this setup. This is a setup that I'm in. I'm happy their earnings are gone, and I don't need to worry about that. This looks like it could play for us soon. This is something I've been holding for a few days. You guys know that. Previous highs, break, retest, consolidation. I'm just patiently waiting for the next move. So 990 is where Netflix needs to get above. 990. Costco, another trade that we're in right now. Previous highs. That is called a break and retest. Long, right? Really nice. Can we hold above 950, which is the previous double top highs? That's the watch. For now, looks good. Next level we need to break is 975. 975. But look at that break and retest there, guys. Previous double top high into lows. Break, retest, long. Really nice look right now on Costco. Let's keep watching that. Microsoft, I'm done. I mean, I'm pretty much never going to, not never, I can't say never, but I just don't have any interest in this stock for a very long time. I haven't traded Microsoft in months, maybe even close to a year. This stock has been in a sideways channel for a year. 7 months, almost, a little bit less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 months, sideways. 410, 447. Palantir, I mean, beautiful pullback longs on Palantir. Beautiful hold of 74, right? These levels have worked out gorgeously. Look at that 74 hold. I mean, you're right back at the highs, though. Look, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82. You got to get above 82 now. That or a pullback to 74, right? Meta just becoming the strongest stock in the stock market, hands down, bar none. It's just the beast. Zuckerberg's crushing it right now, man. Zuckerberg possibly making the name for one of the best CEOs ever, I would say. I mean, this guy just knows. He just knows. He's just doing a great job. 980. Their numbers are ridiculous. If you guys go look at the earnings report, the numbers are absurd. But 980, sick hold. I would watch that. Pullback longs all day, 660, 647, and 680, right? Those are your pullback levels. You'd love a deep pullback. You'd love it, right? If you see a deep, scary pullback on Meta, be on the lookout, in my opinion. 660 would be hot. 647 would be even hotter. A pullback to the 20 SMA would be a dream and a half, right? If you can get something like that. But for now, I mean, it just looks to be defending 680. It looks very strong there. You got to get over 700, of course. Yeah, XYZ Square, really interesting watch, guys, especially in the earnings. Of course, a little bit questionable into earnings, but take a look at this weekly setup. I mean, I'm gonna say this once. I'm probably not gonna look at it again, right? Just remember what I say here. That is a pretty interesting weekly break and retest flag. It really is. It really is. Did I say 980? Sorry, guys. You know what I meant. 85, right? 85 weekly high, break and retest, bull flag. I mean, it's an interesting setup, no? All right, guys, that's going to be it. We're running a little bit late tonight. Sorry about the little blackout that we had. Looks like looks like DeepSeek is after me after talking shit. 21,560 NASDAQ futures, very clear level today. QQQ 520. Look at the holds coming in. Very clear level today. ES 60.70, that's your hold spot. You need to see it hold. And it looks very clear that the SPY 602, 602.50 spot is an important hold to watch today. All right? Let's see what happens out there. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you guys for... Oh, sorry about that. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for always showing up. Thanks for coming back after the blackout. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.